the answer to so many of our problems in the world is just sleep.
You are the world champion in sleeping.
Yeah, really the most powerful things people can do for their health are basic life habits of sleep. And so the way to simplify this that I've learned, I would take everything I learned into one principle, which is to lower your resting heart rate before bed. So tonight, before you go to bed, if you have so lay down on your bed, take a few deep breaths and calm your body down. And then take out your wearable if you can and just look at your heart rate. And it may say 60 beats per minute or 65 or 70 or 55. If you don't have a wearable, just put your fingers on the side of your neck, count heartbeats for 6 seconds, and then multiply that by 10. That's your baseline heart rate. So let's just say tonight someone does that and they have a 60 beats per minute baseline. Their goal over the next 30 days is to lower that to 55. And so they'll start learning, for example, that if their bedtime is 10 p.m., that having their final meal of the day and snack at 6 p.m. will help lower their heart rate, because eating late and snacking late increases heart rate. They'll also learn that having alcohol increases heart rate. They'll learn that smoking, that high intensity exercise, having fights, working, scrolling. So they'll learn all these things that increase their heart rate makes their sleep worse, which makes their life worse. And everything that lowers their heart rate, like a nice wind down routine, so screens off, 60 minutes before bed, read a book, meditate, go for a walk, talk to a friend, eating earlier and lighter, you'll learn all these habits that lower the heart rate. So lower heart rate, happy life, high heart rate, sad life. And so I can basically see somebody's heart rate and I can tell them everything about themselves. It just reveals all of their habits. Wow. And so my resting heart rate before bed is 44 beats per minute. And when I hit that, I'm going to have a perfect night's sleep. If I have a perfect night's sleep, the next day is going to be great. No matter what happens, it's going to be great.
Can you tell me how the body reacts if you have a bad night of sleep?
Yeah. So it's really devastating. For example, if somebody sleeps 4 hours or less per night on sleep, their body stops looking for cancer cells by 73%. So NK cell activity, which is your cancer surveillance cells, goes down by over 70%. So the body basically says, look, I'm so busy with the fact that I didn't get a lot of sleep, I'm going to stop looking for cancer. That's a big deal.
Really big deal.
Really big deal. It's also the case that 4 hours or less of sleep per night, it induces a state in the brain that is similar to a traumatic brain injury. You have this protein called S100B, and it increases. And so it really is, missing sleep is equal to brain damage. It's really bad. And so a lot of people, like we were talking about earlier, a lot of people will brag that they don't need a lot of sleep, that somehow they're immune from the need to get 8 hours of sleep, that they can work all day, fly everywhere in the world, have this heroic strength. They use it as a flex. But meanwhile, internally, they're just suffering intense damage.
So what is the best, if you were to say like 3 things that is good for to increase your sleep?
Yeah. Have your final meal of the day 4 hours before bed, and no snacking after that. Number 2 is turn your screen off, all screens off, 60 minutes before bed. And 3 is to have a wind down routine. You need to give your body at least 60 minutes to calm down from the day. We're like at the end of the day, we're tired, we may be upset, we're anxious, we're trying to ruminate on all the things we have going on, the problems we're trying to solve. And if you go to sleep with that kind of stress and rumination, it will increase your heart rate dramatically. So I go through this wind down routine every night, 60 minutes before bed, where I try to work through all my internal concerns. Like, did I get in a fight that day? Did I say something I didn't mean to say? Did I hurt someone's feelings? Do I have a really complicated problem to solve? So you need to go through this. I do this thing where I break myself out into different Bryans. So sleep Bryan's on duty, and then so the first Bryan to show up at 7:30 p.m., sleep Bryan takes charge. That's an hour before my bedtime. the first Bryan to show up is always ambitious Bryan. So ambitious Bryan shows up and he says, I have a brand new idea on this cool new thing we can do. And sleep Bryan says, ambitious Bryan, we appreciate you. You're doing a good job. We're going to write down your idea, and then tomorrow we can talk about it.
I like it. I like it.
Right? And then the next person is anxious Bryan. He shows up and he's like, today in the podcast, you said that thing that you probably sounded really stupid. And sleep Bryan says, thank you, anxious Bryan, really helping us with self-awareness. Thank you. And so we just go through all these different Bryans. They want to express their worries and their needs and their concerns. And that way, when my head hits a pillow, I feel reconciled. Like I'm okay. Like life is okay. I'm okay. I can go to bed, and then I lay down and I can be asleep in 2 minutes. But we all know this. If you try to lay down and go to sleep and you're still pretty upset about the day and you're not reconciled, you just sit there and you ruminate, right? You can't go to sleep because you have to think through all the problems.
Yeah, I like that very, very much. Now you have like the best metrics in the world champion in sleeping, but it hasn't been this before in the past.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I bought into cultural norms of work yourself to death because that's cool, and that's just a bad idea.
Yeah, and it was a huge difference when I saw the Netflix and you see like photos from you in the past. Huge difference.
Yeah.
Huge. It was like, is this the same guy?
Yeah.
How would you react if you would eat like 1 Snickers and 1 Coke?
Yeah. Yeah. So,
because I also want to hear about your mindset about this, but this one I like very much.
Yeah. I've done this experiment.
Well, how was it?
So it predictably raises my heart rate. So it spikes my blood glucose. It spikes my heart rate. And so if I were to have a Coke before bed that has like 43 grams of sugar, my heart rate would probably elevate 8 to 10 beats per minute. So it'd be around like the low 50s. And that would ruin about 30% of my sleep.
30%? That's huge.
Yeah, it's very big.
And also a lot of anxious.
Yeah, exactly. You just feel like jittery. Your stress score is very high during sleep. So it would be like a very disruptive, rowdy sleep. But yeah, it's very, very significant. Like I feel it acutely, but people who don't really pay attention to things, it's always kind of shitty sleep, so they don't really notice. But like once you're getting really high quality sleep, you feel these changes dramatically.
You start to eat 6 and end 11. Can you talk about this?
Yeah, it's all about my sleep. I have built my entire life around sleep. So I did a bunch of experiments.
Have you thought to change name to Sleep?
Honestly, it's
Sleep Johnson.
Yeah, honestly, it would be appropriate. Yeah. I think honestly, the answer to so many of our problems in the world is just sleep.